As you were progressing in your career, Bonnie, into those senior leader roles, how did it impact your own personal life, your own family life?
Yeah. I've got two amazing daughters. They're both adults now, and I've got three amazing grandsons.
Oh, wow.
Totally wrapped. And it's interesting because there was a point in my career. First of all, as career opportunities began to come to me at a national level, and I was living in Newfoundland at the time, that is home base for me, my company knew that I wouldn't be mobile to move, which, a national role meant I needed to live in Montreal. I was very explicit about timing. Once my daughters were going to university, that I would be mobile. Everyone knew that, my husband, my kids, and we all agreed I could do a commute situation because my husband worked with the airlines, so it made it a little bit easier.
Awesome.
But in any case, it was interesting because they went off to university and I went off to Montreal. It's like, the career path really worked well. And we made that a big adventure. And so when I think about, the impact on my family, well, first of all, having two daughters, I wanted to really role model what I'd love for them to do in their careers, in their lives. And so I feel that I've been able to maintain the balance that was required. If anything, I think our time and quality of time we made the most of because we realized how precious our time together was. When I was in Montreal, my husband lived in Newfoundland, one daughter in New Brunswick, one Nova Scotia, and me in Montreal. When we got together, we really had great times. So I think, it's like anything. You make of it what you will, and it was all positive from my perspective. And I think my family came along willingly for that ride.
For you, Bonnie, personally, what is your own vision for yourself? What do you think you would want your future to look like if you had to look ahead in the next 10 to 15 years?
10 to 15 years is great. That means I've got to keep going for 10 to 15 years. I'm at that point in my career where I'm just so grateful. It's been an incredible career. And when I look to the future, I can't see me stopping. My friend and I talk about rewiring instead of retiring.
Right.
I think I'll rewire many, many times. I see myself perhaps, involved in board work and volunteer work, always though with that vision of how do we continue to elevate and make things better in healthcare. I see a much different healthcare system, one where, for instance, we're better able to age at home, where technology can support a lot of our primary care and non-acute care, and where different models of care are being implemented. One of the things I hope to see more of, Shiyen, is as we develop the future, we see the same cast of characters often developing our future. I want to see more youth. There's so many young, bright minds who will own that future. So I'd like us to be more inclusive and bringing in those young, diverse thinkers to build a better future. There's a book I read recently by Adam Grant. It's
Think Again. Right, yeah, it's a great book.
I'm just such a fan of his now. I follow him because he challenges the way we've thought for years. And now every now and again I'll go, what would Adam say? But we need to build a different healthcare system. What we have is not sustainable with our demographics as we currently exist. I just think I'm very optimistic for the future. And the more of these bright minds blended with the maturity and experience of some of those who've been around for many, many years, I think together we can really build something that's going to meet the needs more fully. So I'm optimistic.
I love that. With that idea of bringing in bright minds who are innovative, who are willing to take those chances and think differently. How often in healthcare you see they're looking for, experienced leaders who've done those things in the past, but now there's a lot of research to show that it's not, don't hire based on experience, but hire on where that person's trajectory is going to take them, how far they're going to be able to go, even though they might not have done that particular task or that kind of work earlier. What are your, what are your views?
Yeah, no, I love that. And I love, you mentioned earlier, I've been a bit of a risk taker. And when we're hiring, it's such a big risk, because we invest so much in organizations. So I love when we have an organization whereby we can identify top talent early and really create those opportunities to get them where they need to be. And so, having mentorship programs, that sort of thing within organizations, I think we can not only get their bright minds and brilliant work early, but then prepare them, because there is a level of experience that is very helpful in particular with risk taking, decision making, all those things. But I do think that organizations have a powerful infrastructure to enable us to move that along more effectively.